Welcome to the Tourism Advisory Committee meeting. Go around with introductions. So
Linda Weiss.
Ken Heeman.
Johnny. Josh Hyman.
Keith Chandler.
Seth Morrissey.
Sadie Mercer.
Bruce Swinson and our guest.
Robert Moncho.
Yes. Right. A view of the minutes.
I move to approve the minutes of December 17.
Second.
All those in favor?
I
Anyone against? Okay, that's passed. I want to review.
Okay, let's take a look at the financial report. Bunch of stuff, and you can really make this bigger because like now I'm having trouble reading. That's how long I've been here. I can't read that.
welcome aboard.
Yes. Okay, I'll start at the top and just go through these. I mean, sometimes these are really standard and I don't go over them, but there's enough stuff in here that it's worth talking about. iHeart, that's our Seattle radio. This is KBKS. Campaign, J Thayer's office supplies. Little Bird is our PR, but only a small fraction of that cost is our monthly PR retainer. Most of that cost is our broadcast commercials we were running in the Seattle market through them on the 3 stations that I talked about in the previous director's report. Condo Association is our World Marketing Garage, Dues and Power. Agency is our email marketing automation updates and leads processing. Office supplies for the office. Goat is all paid search, and we're basically reimbursing them for the things they spent on our behalf for paid search. They used to do web development for us, but it's all fully advertising now. Ken is SDDA meetings reimbursements November 6th through December 4th.
Just a guy.
Yeah. Community liaison, Seaside famous resident. KPTV is our weather cam and banners for Fox. The Lumen Century Link is just citywide telephone stuff. That happens to be our kind of legacy lines that just we keep for emergency purposes. Yes. Media America is our November editorial, so 3 stories from them. Oxy is doing every other month website maintenance for us. So they built our website and they're updating things, making sure things are working correctly every other month. And the cadence we've sort of fallen on, at least while that website is really fresh. Patch marks, this is our first of 2 Treasure Quest, new Treasure Quest patch designs. We'll pay the second one when we receive our Treasure Quest patches, hopefully next week. US Bank is our copy release. Worthy Marketing is December work for the Oregon's North Coast, which is Astoria, Seaside, Cannon Beach work, Clatsop County. So I'm looking for that as well. Your News. So this is once per year. We split this with the city admin, City Hall, basically. This is basically a monitoring service that just picks up mentions of Seaside. And what's really nice about this is it gives us clips of our web and stuff. I don't think it picks up all of them, but when they use it in like a newscast, it'll send us an email and it will list out, here are your TV mentions, here are your web mentions, here are your stories. And it links them to them and gives you some data around things like what is the publicity value of this roughly. But what it really is nice for us is that it gives us a lot of ability to see clips from our games.
So is that stories that the city's produced or all stories?
Everything. Yeah, it's just looking for
So
stuff.
pick up a seal on the beach story.
Right, all the time. There's tons of aquarium stuff in there. Yeah, or if there's like, crime stories or.
So hopefully the aquariums aren't
Those
the
are-
crime stories. The seal on the beach
Wasn't there a crime like
Could have
involving
been.
the octopus?
could have been.
iHeart is again, that's Seattle radio. This one though is KGE, and we were in heavy radio rotations there this winter. Laser printing copy is a whole bunch of envelopes and labels. We ran out of Holiday guides this year, and so Ken was scrambling, trying to make sure we always had enough things to stuff our guides into and send to for a while. But that should all change tomorrow.
We won't need laser print for a couple of years.
Yeah, probably not.
I got it.
Agency tourism marketing, that's our leads and email platform. Again, Coin is our weather cam and our banners. We also get some commercials through that. Little Bird is, again, this is going to be a small portion of that is our PR retainer, but most of it is November broadcast spent in Seattle and Portland. We ran a lot of commercials. And if you're interested in, I don't know if it's in this, no, it's not in this one, but if you look back a couple of packs, you'll see all the breakdown of the different shows it was running in, sports games. It was running during Thanksgiving parade and all sorts of things like that. Oregon Media, that's via this one right here, January, February. Continue to get our awesome first page placement, which has been really nice. Yeah, he's over at the office right now. He looks kind of like that, actually, as I was leaving. She looks like this is very cute.
Actually, key on the front.
Yeah.
Our Washington.
Seattle Chamber of Commerce, Seaside Chamber of Commerce, that is the track grant. For the arts grant. SCDA is the alley beautification. For the arts grant, and the Tsunami Skippers is the Oregon Coast Classic for the events. You look at the expenditures, everything's looking good. I will point out that there's some of these are overspent for the year already. Grounds maintenance, that's just because this year, the finance team has decided to put this grounds maintenance in as one payment, so they paid the whole year immediately instead of doing it every month like they have in the past. Plus, there's a 3% contract increase for her year over year, like in her contract, but it wasn't budgeted for. So that's why it's overdrawn the account basically. Legal services, that's all related to the property acquisition and chamber lease negotiation stuff. We got a bill like 5 months after it occurred. So that's actually all from last fiscal year, but there's nothing we can do. That's the only place we can put it. Computer services, it's just an increase in citywide IT costs that Zach will have to remedy. But as far as things that we have control over, everything's looking fine.
I know this is a self-serving question, but the 30,000 for building maintenance, what did you anticipate having to do this year?
Well,
There's just placeholder.
remember we had that work done,
Oh, the outside.
Yeah,
but I think that was
Where the
last.
window, where the window.
Well, we
was?
had, that bit where it eased out there,
Where-
we had all that work done. I think that was the last fiscal year though, wasn't it? Or was it done this summer? I don't know.
It was done summer.
It was,
Yeah.
So, I'm pretty sure it was probably just hold.
when you have to do all that stuff.
It's like area 51.
Okay.
Well, I don't know how much Josh is gonna say about things, so I'll go with, I cleaned out our storage unit yesterday and survived, but I did not have Honda so far. No, it wasn't that bad, just a lot of trash and chewed up cardboard, yeah. It's a lot of chewed up cardboard, but all clean, ready for our new guides that are arriving tomorrow. So Thursday and Friday, I plan on being out and about delivering guides, everywhere, as I usually do. A lot of fun, glad the weather is gonna be okay. We have been seeing a couple visitors a day. Generally, there are a lot of day trippers from Portland or Washington. There have been a few people that are staying a couple nights. But a lot of it's just been, a lot of people actually looking for the 2026 guide. And they're like, oh, well, we're staying this week. We'll come back Thursday. So that's kind of cool. They're staying a few nights. We do have Governor's Conference on tourism coming up in March, a little earlier than usual. Travel Oregon and the Welcome Center is doing something a little different this year. Usually we attend and we go to breakouts and then we go home. This year, to switch it up, we're going to set up a miniature welcome center in the vendor area. It's a big breakout place. I don't know if anybody's ever gone to something like that. You have 50 or more booths of people throughout the industry. So for us, we're going to be setting up a welcome center. Every welcome center in Oregon will take turns with staff that will, oh, it's your shift, and we'll all go, I'm ready to do the whole thing in the welcome center. I think that'll be a lot of fun. So looking forward to that, just doing something a little different. As usual, it's in Portland. Our night out is at Blazers. against Charlotte. What are they, Hornets? Yeah, so who knows? And then last week I put together another radio prize package. This was for Portland Radio Z100, right? We have one left that's going to be back up in Seattle. And again, Ed Tide was one of those that provided a couple of overnights for us on that. I appreciate that. And then staff, mentioned.
All right, go ahead.
So welcome to our new part-time employee who had been our fill-in, Jim Beasley. Will now be working Mondays 10 to 2 and Saturdays and then Sundays when we open. And then we have Nate Burke as our new fill-in. If anybody knows Nate used to work as a visitor information specialist. He wrote most of our blogs.
Yeah.
And it was at the convention center for a while, so he's super excited. It was great to see Nate. It's been a long time. And that's all I have at this point.
That's great. Do you want to give a quick update on like what the status is of the welcome centers just in general? Cause I remember I've heard you talking about.
Travel Oregon went through, they're still going through some changes. Obviously, if you read anything last year, they've switched, can't remember his name now. Who was the head guy? Todd Davidson. He stepped down. He's helping with an interim, a new guy that's gonna come over and run the show. They've made a ton of staff changes. Basically that also cut back budgets, and for the first time since it's been open, the Brookings Welcome Center is not this year. So usually in the winter, Ontario and Klamath Falls, they close. But this year they chose to close Brookings down for the winter months. It's kind of a bummer because we send people there all the time that want California stuff. So well, right before you get there, stop in at Brookings. So kind of sad that we don't have that. And I know that they cut back some hours at one of the others. I think it might have been Oregon City, but that's part of an interpretive center anyways. So they have their own thing going there. But
Yeah.
Is Brookings just closed for the winter?
This winter.
And they'll be
yeah,
open.
like Ontario and Klamath, they just closed for a few months in the winter. But Brookings was one of those that had never happened. They're also in like the Forest Service building and some other things. So there's a lot of foot traffic through their building, but Travel Oregon decided to hear they didn't need it. We might be there.
Yeah. Thank you, Tim.
Thank you.
Monthly scouts?
Yeah, let's take a look at them. December, a very positive month in general. Believe it or not, our visitor center foot traffic was up 11%. It did not feel like it. I think a good chunk of those were chamber people coming in for the chamber, but I guess that's pretty normal.
Numbers.
Actually, what it might be is the port
Some
stamp.
of it was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure was. Yeah, that was
I
noted.
mean, that's, well, I guess that only accounts for the 40, was like 43 or something.
That's
So-
December
That's a
first. I
big
think
chunk.
one day in the summer, but a month in December.
But I will say, I mean, if you skip down to the website sections, they were up 31% over last December. And so, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, that's that continuing trend that we're always seeing. But we ended the year 2025 about equal with what we were last year. So, that's actually decent, given that the whole trend has been down over the last decade. Run volume for the month was up a little bit, but it's still pretty subdued. Visitor guide lead volume from our website was down, and we saw that kind of decrease in like the web traffic there at the very end of December. As far as guides ordering, however, some of that is because we literally put a disclaimer up saying, hey, you're ordering the 2026 guide. It's not here for 3 more weeks. Please let us, if you want a 2025 guide, we're happy to mail it to you. Some of that was everyone kind of pushing that off. Total distribution though was up a ton, 452%. Again, I've talked about this many times before, but that's just kind of the luck of the draw on whether certified comes by in the end of November or early December. That number would have been in November. End of the year, 94,000. I think one more box went out. Didn't you take one more to World Markers?
Yeah,
Yeah, so
last week.
that's about right for the year.
And how many do we order?
100,000.
A lot of these were pre-shipped. So that 94,000 is just ours. Right?
That's just what went out the door.
Yes, from us,
So 6,000 were dropped somewhere.
so they get shipped directly.
Total web sessions for the year were up 10%, users were up 13%, so we're nearing 500,000 in individual users. Unique web users for the year. Email signups were up thanks to, in large part, our radio packages that Ken mentioned earlier. They're up 60% for the year. Organic visitor guide requests were up 21%. Use per active user were up 60%. For the year as well, about 60%. Engagement time down. We continue to see that, especially with a lot of our campaign holiday traffic. We saw the time that most people were on the site were lower because we had such a larger volume coming onto this. Has not gotten updated bed tax or VRD totals yet for the next quarter, but we have countywide data, STR data from November showed a negative 0.2% change in occupancy year over year for November, but a 2% growth in RevPAR and room revenue. Any questions about those? Director's report. So we have the results of the Give the Gift of Seaside campaign that ran through out November and into the first weeks of December. As a reminder, our objectives with this campaign were to inspire audiences to bring their friends, loved ones to Seaside as a physical gift, and then sort of auxiliary to that, generally inspire travel to Seaside during the holiday season and throughout the winter months by celebrating the joys of a quieter off-season visit. We set up a dedicated campaign landing page on the site that culminated in an invitation to order a Seaside travel guide. We pulled our November email blast into the mix and aligned our allocations across a broad spectrum to include print, broadcast, data campaign, all sorts of things. The main campaign was run via Meta Facebook with a $10,000 budget and targeted to 6 regional markets: Portland, Bend, Seattle, Tri-Cities, Spokane, and Athens. For these markets, we built 4 ad carousels of images, about 5 or 6 images each, with the following themes: gift to Seaside, holiday getaways, winter getaways to people with younger kids, and winter getaways targeted to folks with older kids. We also built out single image ads for weekly use in several stories involving these themes. I've listed out here kind of the results from a landing page view, total ranked by total landing page views, basically. But the campaign directly resulted in 14,484 landing page views and reached almost 500,000 people in our target markets with a 2.2 frequency. Our overall impressions were 983,000. Click-through rate for the campaign was a strong 4.87%. Cost per click was a low 21 cents. The campaign showed no signs of creative fatigue throughout, with metrics well above typical tourism benchmarks from some of our partners and indicating consistent, sustained interest in our creative across all regions. Of course, things got a little more expensive in the smaller markets. That's why Portland and Seattle dominate that. It's just more people to get, but it provided meaningful delivery to the smaller markets and supported larger metro areas. Travel guide orders over that period was a 28% year over year lift for the duration of the campaign. I got some more stuff in here that I can show you just to give you a sense of what some of these things look like. So these are our target. And you can't quite tell because of the way this previews, but these are a whole carousel. So this was a gift to Seaside carousel, and there were like 5 images in here. And this is just how it looked across different mediums, basically. So it's kind of hard to get a total sense of what that carousel looked like, but this is the different ways this carousel was showing up to people. Our holiday getaway carousel showing up like this. This is our winter getaway to a younger crowd. This is our winter getaway to an older crowd. And then we had a different variation on this for certain regions that were outside the metro area. We had single image ad for feeds.
Did anybody ever ask for a haircut?
No, No, if you look close, you can tell this is photoshopped onto
I
art.
was
But, you know, the people that we're serving this to,
We thought somebody go, oh.
I was gonna ask if it was an AI generated image or if
it
it was
wasn't
actually
AI
photographed.
generated, it's a photo, but it was photoshopped on. Isn't my favorite in the world, but, so for this, for instance, this image here. Greg and I took this image and our agency AI'd this bow and this bottom part. And I didn't like it, so we actually used our real photo because it just looked cartoonish and there was this like, it's almost like this bow, you can't see it because it's covered, they were trying to kind of cover it up. But basically it looked like it turned into a funnel. It's like it melted or something, it was just weird, and it was. The picture that we had was just fine, so yeah, I try to stay away from AI generated stuff as much as possible, but that Photoshop thing was, I was like, well, it's just such a cute image, I think it'll pull up parents especially, so I went with it. This was another story that we did. This story, of course, was ironic because Salt Line was not open during this time, but we didn't know that when we were setting that up. Yeah, indoor fun, so that's more of along the lines of just a general winter visit that we were trying to reinforce, and then lastly trying to get people to just get. Bright seasonal imagery with people enjoying winter or holiday experiences perform best. Carousels with multiple lifestyle frames and the winter getaway visuals consistently drove higher engagement. It was a fun campaign and fairly affordable, and I expect we'll be repeating this with different seasonal focuses.
I really loved the idea of giving the gift of Seaside as an activity to give rather than an item. I think it,
Yeah.
when I saw the campaign at first, I was like, absolutely, yeah, it's great.
Coming dates note, so yeah, tomorrow guides are supposed to arrive. Ken said that all about that, he's got it all prepared and ready to go, and I expect him to be running all over town Thursday, Friday, delivering them.
We need to. That's true, this is my.
I have a conference.
Yeah.
I have a conference next week, Oregon Destination Association Conference in Tiger. These are Oregon DMOs. I'm gonna be on a panel, talking about branding. Be interested on Tuesday. February 12th is the Winter Waters. This was a TAC Events Grant recipient. For Seaside specifically, they have a seaweed type event. And they also have a meal at Osprey Cafe, so those are the Seaside that are as well.
Do you need to make reservations, then should they have limited seating?
I don't think so, I think both of them you need to, yeah, reservations,
Tickets.
but the Osprey Cafe one especially is like you're buying a nice.
Right.
dinner.
Yeah.
So, fine. The Welcome Center will be open 10 a.m. to 2 on President's Day in February. I expect it to date or there won't be wood. No updates on the tourism grant, so I gave the feedback from the committee to the Mechanic Watershed Council about the mural, and they were like, okay, great, yeah, we'll work on it, but I haven't heard anything yet, so I don't have anything to. Other than that, all the grants have been distributed, and I think all the checks have gone out. And we did a press release for it on the city website, sent it out to local journals, and there's been stories about them, and I think like a weekend story is coming out too, like a feature story.
Did you end up seeing anything come out of the interview that was about that?
Yeah, I saw it get put that your news thing I told you about earlier, it picked up a story and it was that. And
Oh,
it was, I think it was either the Astorian or the Our Coast people, and it was like, it was about but it had stuff about from the chamber. Yeah,
I didn't see it in the signal. It's weird.
I haven't seen much in signals.
Well, that's fair.
There's only 6 pages.
That's fair.
Yeah. Oh, even on Facebook, they're not posting much.
Yeah.
And I feel like they really are consolidated towards the Astor. Yeah, that's it for tourism grants, unless you guys have any more questions about that. Okay, if we hear from them about the mural, I will certainly let you know.
And so it's rotating, so we're done for the year until July, and then July is the next start of. When is the next?
Yeah, we'll be done now, probably until May, we'll open it up again. And I'll probably do, we'll have scheduled time to talk about what we wanna do, like going forward with the different grants, but. I think we'll probably open both of them at the same time, have them both be open. Instead of, the arts grant took longer to get through the budget committee and all that stuff, and so once we finally opened it, it was only open 2 months, whereas the events were. So I think we'll talk about it, but I think it would make sense to open it in May and then have the money first be available in July and run it through the end of the year, like we did. On the KGW weather cam, we have a contract now. Signed, so that starting February 1st, we will have a KGW weather cam as well. We will get 100,000 banner ad impressions monthly or a TV commercial schedule every month. They will kind of be up to we have a schedule basically for these things, so it will have kind of added niceties. What I thought was kind of cool, and I couldn't capture it very well for you, but earlier today I went on KGW and looked at their weather cam. Have you guys ever looked at their weather cams that they stream? They do it very different than the other ones. They run like a continuous video loop of all their cameras. So it's not like you have your Seaside cam sitting there, it just runs through the loop, but they've already put the Seaside cam up, which I thought was really interesting.
Lots of views, so
Is the camera, it's already working,
What's up?
you're gonna like the view. Before you head out,
not this view.
before you head out. It was great. It's like really good
So
angle.
this is what it looks like. It looks back towards town.
It's very similar to the Lanai cam.
Yeah.
But you can't move, but you.
Yeah, no,
Camera, it's really high definition, looks really nice. It doesn't come across on the screenshot. I tried to take it larger to see if it would work better, because the first one I took was this one, and it just kind of blurry, but when it's running and you see the waves coming in, it's actually, I would say it's more on par with our coin camera than the Fox camera. It's very vibrant and pretty, and so
I missed where's it mounted on?
the Lanai.
Oh, it's on the line too. Okay. Actually, I think I saw it. That was-
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What would be fun is like sunrise shots that
Yeah.
you can use.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see.
I think it's gonna surprise a lot of people who haven't seen this view of
Right.
Seaside.
Well, that's
No,
what's
where's,
really nice.
where's the turnaround?
I was watching their other cameras and even their other coastal cameras, the ocean's like well back. It's kind of gray out on the horizon.
Yeah.
This one, it's like it's like the waves are lapping right.
Yeah.
Well, it's mounted lower, I think, right?
I don't know exactly what.
So the Lanai cam's up on the second story, and I believe I saw it like kind of below the second story,
Yeah.
top of the first.
It's not close enough for vandalism.
It was pretty low.
We'll see.
Yeah, well, I did communicate with them that they keep looking this direction and not pointed out at the point.
Just a slight suggestion, it might, I mean, I don't think you lose a lot if you just tilt it slightly
slightly,
where you see the
yeah.
beach and you can see the turnaround and everything, and you're not really missing.
The turnaround's there, the dunes are just in.
Okay, well, I guess you would.
You'd be able to see the turnaround if it wasn't for the
These-
dunes.
yeah.
These cameras, they move around a bit and we'll see what they settle on. Like I said, that we're not even under contract with them yet. They just put this up early, so we'll see how it goes. Cause it's supposed to be called the Visit Seaside camera, so we'll see.
You can swing it right in on Robin's house.
Not suggesting that.
How long before we hear like that's not Seaside?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Not sure.
I see if you look at the left, you're not really missing a lot if you.
That ends at the World Mine.
Oh, and 2026 guy, we already talked
So,
about
do
it.
you know how much the cost is for the Channel 8 cam?
2,000.
2,000?
Yeah.
It's kind of in the middle between the two,
It's a little bit more expensive than corn.
and not as much as 12.
No, it's half. Well,
Can I ask an old business question that isn't on here?
Yes, I assume so,
You know, I'm gonna do it anyway, right?
unless you wanna do it during the committee call and stuff, just depends what kind of discussion you wanna have.
I was just kinda gonna see what the status on the, us submitting, how we want this
Yeah,
committee to be
I'll
formed.
talk about it.
Oh, okay, sorry.
And 26 guy, I don't have any updates beyond what we talked about. It's in, we're just waiting for it to arrive. And then, new business, it's a new year, you guys gotta pick a chair and a vice chair. And unfortunately, we're down a member, so I have to be a smaller pool.
Pick whoever they appoint.
We don't know when that will happen.
Alright.
Are you game for another year?
No.
Too much pressure.
Where's the coin? I'll flip you.
Are you?
If I game, I'm still here.
Okay.
I'm game for another year as vice.
What if we reversed it?
Fine.
Okay.
I would like to, I would there's next year, yeah. I would like to nominate Ruth as vice chair.
I'll second that out.
Thank you. I'm sorry, make a motion. Yeah.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Are you gonna, I'll nominate Sadie as chair.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Alright.
Aye.
You gotta make it weird.
Who's second on that?
Keith,
Oh, both, no.
Yes.
Yes.
Keith loves coming in on the second.
Yeah.
You plan on missing any meetings next year?
I don't know.
Leave it all learned.
Yeah.
And so I'll add then, Eddie, what you were asking, actually, you were asking something slightly different than what I was gonna talk about, but yes, I submitted your vision statement to city manager. City council and city manager will decide moving forward, and I don't exactly know what that process is, maybe Seth knows what that is.
I think it's gonna happen sooner rather than later because we discussed at the last meeting that we wanna get on with it and get through it, so I
Right.
think. I don't think it's on this agenda, it could be, but it definitely will be coming up.
Okay.
And I think we're gonna invite either the chair or the whole committee to that meeting, so.
Couldn't have told me that before I agreed.
It's an invitation,
Yes.
it's not a summons.
Be great to have you.
Yeah.
Yeah, our initial ask was to produce that vision, and we've done that now, and so now we're just waiting for what the follow-up is to Seth's point. Is it to come to a meeting, or is it, the follow-up or what? But there'll be more to come on that. What I did want to talk about though is, at the last meeting, I asked if you would please submit budget requests, and so I wrote down all your ideas and I submitted those. And they're asking me to ask you to rank them. So to remind, the 3 ideas that came up, and I was cringing when I watched the video because you were like pointing out my face, and I was like, you're right, I'm very bad at poker. I was very tired and had to eat lunch. I was like, no, this just seems horrible, but like.
I got nothing to say. I can't keep a straight face
You
with anything.
You have the 101 highway signs, increasing accessibility, landscaping and stuff, just to make them more accessible. People, that was the first one. The second one was the Y sign at Holiday. And the third one was the archway. So those have all been submitted, and will be part of the budget deliberation process, but they want you to rank those from like highest priority to lowest priority. So
And-
you're gonna have to agree amongst yourselves and then communicate that to me.
And actually, one of my waking thoughts at 4 a.m. this morning was that I didn't talk about the Sandboni, the sand cleaning machine.
At that meeting.
Right. Right, at that meeting as a suggested budget request for next year. Is it still possible to
I'm
add?
pretty sure at this point, just the TAC and one other committee are the only ones that have actually put in budget requests. So maybe you could convince the Parks Committee to do it. I mean, we are past deadline. We are past deadline. We've already had our follow-up meeting, which is why I'm asking you to
Gotcha.
arrange it. But I mean, you can always send an email to Spencer or the mayor or something.
Yeah, there's always next year. There's, gotta check with the state parks anyway, if they'll even allow it.
So we want to rank these three.
Yeah, from highest priority to lowest.
Didn't you also have the removing structures,
No,
creating a park that didn't get big enough?
I didn't make a formal request.
Can I make a comment on, we'll let you guys get through the ranking, I wanna make a comment on that last one, the structure.
Okay.
Good flood would take care of it. It's a real good flood would take care of it.
Exactly.
Troublemaker.
So do we want to rank them and what we want or what we think will happen or what, or by cost?
Being diplomatic, I would say what you want
Yeah.
and what you think will happen should play a bit of a role as well.
Did we, sorry, did you submit, like actual numbers? Or
I-
that's approximate number?
I had
Guesstimates.
Public Works put guesstimates.
Okay, did they guesstimate for, digital signage at any of those?
They thought the Y place might be a location to do digital signage.
For
But it
like
did-
upcoming events, is it?
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it didn't really factor too much into how much that would cost or anything. It's
Okay.
more about just building structure.
Okay.
Improvements to it.
I'm just wondering if we had a budget request for, do you just recall offhand what that might have been for the Y?
I do not.
Okay.
No, I don't.
So I mean, say it was $20,000, but we know the sign is gonna cost us $30,000 for a digital sign, I mean, so, I mean, are we committing to, cause I think if we're talking about a digital sign, I would say rank that number one, would be how I would think about it,
A
but
reader board?
a reader board, yeah.
Do we know if there's power there?
I don't,
Is there a light on that sign?
I was
that's there?
gonna say, I thought there was. Yeah.
It would make sense that there would be, but I can't recall.
Yeah. See that way.
is there a pole there too, sort of?
There's something nearby because they have power to the
Oh, yeah.
gas thing or the tire filler.
Yeah.
You know, stuff, so there's gotta be some power there.
Right.
Too bad Marcy wasn't here to. She wouldn't know that.
She may not.
She knows anything about the corner.
Jeff Flory looked into it. He thought that we would have pretty good leeway to do things at this location, like he thought. It it would pass the permissions test. But I can't, so. Is this still here? It's funny, I don't even notice these things. I'm driving
The
by.
signs?
Is that a light? Yep, right on the top, shining down on it.
Yeah,
Maybe, so not central, but.
Hard to tell.
It's like it is, and there's a telephone pole right there.
This area of town, I think, is subject to an urban renewal sort of situation. There could be a future state where this whole part of this road is much nicer too, and it might be a nice inviting pathway out the highway.
I thought the plan was to continue the holiday work all the way in.
I think it is.
You know, the north end.
Say that one more time.
You know how the north end of
Yeah, that's
Holiday,
right.
they redid all the sidewalks and the light pole and everything? I thought there was another step.
Were they gonna do South Holiday also?
I think it would have to be part of that improvement. Committee that we have, and I think right now we're focused on South Seaside.
Yeah,
So maybe the next one would be there. I don't know that
I just
Public Works would do
remember
that
hearing
without raising the funds.
South Seaside, Union Avenue U area.
But yeah, I think that's probably when it would get done, but I know there was a plan to do that next.
Cool. Improving accessibility to the north and south highway signs. I think that's a higher priority than the reader board.
I think a reader board probably would be the higher priority, and then, I mean. People can access it now, but it's not, I don't think it's the beautiful entry that we're hoping it is. And not accessible for people to take selfies, which they do, but
I know that my concern would be to make it to where it's more safe if they do it.
for
To
sure,
me, that would be a higher priority
then a reader board.
than to make sure people they're doing it anyway. So it'd be nice to make sure they don't get hurt doing it.
Sure.
So that's why I'd probably make it a higher priority for the safety feature, because. You know,
It's an interesting point too, because we've invested a lot of money in those signs. It would be nice to kind of it off and make it the whole experience look
Yeah.
like it's deliberate.
Yeah,
so I'd put that one, I'd put the reader board two. And as much as I'd like to put the archway one, but it was probably not gonna happen. I still would like that. When we upgrade Holiday, but we put the archway there right by our reader board.
That's where it
And
used to
send
be.
them all down Holiday.
The historic archway was on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be a great way to clear some of that one.
Well, but I don't think 101's gonna want a lot of people, but ODOT's gonna want a lot of people burning there without a light. So.
There's changes coming to that intersection here. Not that intersection, the Broadway intersection.
Yeah, right.
The Broadway intersection
That was supposed to be done by now originally.
Highest priority.
is gonna be roundabout.
Well, it was.
Oh, yeah.
No, that'd be great. There's not space. But they have a plan apparently. They.
That ship has sailed on roundabouts in Seaside.
Yes.
Does anyone have a different opinion about the ordering? I know Sadie, you have a slightly different opinion, but.
yeah, but I'd accept that.
I mean, that's kind of the order they were written down here too, so. The safety thing is what would drive me to make it a higher priority.
Well, and just cleaning it up, so it does look
Yeah.
intentional, yeah, that's fair. It'd be nice to get both done.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Linda?
Oh, no, I'm agreeable to that.
Okay.
The actual cost for that is, also it's dependent on. When they reopen the asphalt plant or something like that will set what the cost is, but he estimated like. 20,000 for one of them. 25,000 for the other, maybe cheaper if we do them both at the same time. But you won't know for sure until they open up the plant.
And he's talking about paving it.
Paving.
Oh,
And
wow.
that's like, and that's like putting a walkway.
Now, there is, when we were discussing it, Spencer said actually at the south sign, there is property the city owns down there,
There.
which I didn't know.
Okay.
Because right now, everyone uses a relief pitch.
Right.
There might be a bigger issue there, but on the north side, that's all urban renewal property. And so from the sign, if you go north, it
Right.
becomes, the tribe zone. So
Right,
if
right.
you head south to the parking lot between there, the property is owned by like the urban renewal. It's like owned by the city basically. So we could pave that lot and run a
That would be good.
asphalt to it.
But what on the south side,
Not yet.
Not yet? I'm too early? 15 minutes?
Tourism advisory.
I'm just- You're just saying, can I just sing? I'm sorry to interrupt, I'll just sing.
on the south side, we don't own any, the city doesn't own property there on the one by the really picture.
Well, that's what Spencer was saying that we do actually
Yeah.
own some property down there.
But it's, and
You know where it
it's-
is it,
Side of the-
is it on the other side of the highway?
Yes.
Cause I think when we originally
Because we
put
have
that,
to-
we wanted to put the sign on the other side of the highway,
Yeah.
because I think that's where the property was,
Anyway, but
if my memory's right.
the estimate includes like, I think paving spots to put and putting in actual parking, handicap parking,
So they're gonna be
Well-
more accessible.
Yeah.
On the south side, but not on the north side.
Oh, I-
Correct, on the north side.
Yeah,
Side, but
right.
not the south side, so I think.
We were operating under the assumption that there was nowhere on the south side, you kind of have to partner with relief to do
Yeah.
a little bit, so.
I think it's-
I mean, north side is a lot further to travel right
Yeah.
now. You know, big impact. Visually. Get those cones out of there,
Yeah,
the mystery cones.
I brought those up again too. I asked Ed what those were and he's like, oh, I'll look it up.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I'm assuming they're safety related, you don't trip over something, I don't, no idea. I can't believe they don't blow
I
away.
might have to investigate myself
Don't trip,
in the middle of
be
the night.
careful. Yeah, that's it.
yeah.
So can I make a comment on this last suggestion? I know it didn't rise to your top three, but the idea of enhancing the appeal of Seaside from the highway, by removing structures and creating a park with river views on the south approach. We currently have the Southeast Seaside Urban Renewal Plan. So we're raising funds to improve Southeast Seaside, and a lot of those funds are going to go for infrastructure and improving Avenue S, adding sidewalks, things like that. But that committee meets and it's really up to their discretion where the funds are spent. So one idea would be to try to combine the work of that committee with maybe tourism dollars and then even maybe the parks committee and do something to try to either remove or fix or something, some of those dilapidated structures that are along the river. I think if we could improve the most blighted part of Seaside, then it raises the entire town up. And that's definitely one of the most blighted parts. And so if we could somehow kind of work on a solution altogether, it could possibly happen. Just there.
Well, and right on the other side is, there's already a city park.
Yeah.
It's on the
Right.
river. So my vision would be, a walking bridge across to the, if you're gonna,
Expensive, but
if you're gonna have vision.
yeah.
To have that as a place where people could pull off the highway and walk over to the park and cross the highway, because I think it'd be gorgeous.
And then ultimately
I'm
get
not gonna leave.
access all the way down to the prom.
Exactly,
From
yeah,
there,
yeah.
it's.
It'd be good, yeah.
Makes
Makes
sense.
Connect it.
A moving sidewalk,
Now you're talking.
Since you're mentioning that in town, and somebody asked me the other day,
Yeah.
what's going on at the old dentist office? I guess there's some tractors and stuff out there moving ground or things.
Right on the corner of you and the river.
Oh,
Abandoned.
the old Donovan Clinic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're doing some stuff there. That's not part of this, nothing to do.
No.
Okay.
No.
Nobody knows. Just kind of curious. Something's going on there. Be interesting to see what this take on.
And the other thing to keep in mind here is part of that South Seaside Urban Renewal District was bringing infrastructure along there because a lot of those houses have septic. And when the river gets really high, they actually could potentially leak into the river, environmental nightmare. So if we could somehow figure out a way to deal with that, maybe all working together, that would be a great asset in the city. So just throw it there.
So let me ask you this then, is it likely that if TAC requested funds in that direction to be able to allocate that TLT money because TAC is asking for it, is that a way to get that money to the city for that upgrade?
I think if we could have a tourism use somehow, then I think potentially you could use those funds. And I don't think it's gonna happen unless there's other funds coming in, because I don't think we have enough money in this with all the infrastructure we're doing, but there could be some money that could be allocated.
But could it be allocated to a specific part of it? So could we request $400,000 for the purchase of property? I mean, I know that there's,
Spencer.
I know that there's one.
Yeah,
The reason say that
Yeah.
that you're reading this in the minutes and we discussed it didn't become part of the grant request is because this tool is not what accomplished that. They can take that money and do it. We see a tiny portion.
Yeah.
We'd be asking to transfer it into the promotions committee to use elsewhere, whereas they can, if they can legally do it, they can do that. And I think what I would say is to Seth's point is that we work together on that.
Yeah.
As we build towards that, but the money piece and requesting budget for it isn't really part of what that request is.
Okay, yeah, I'm still
Yeah.
trying to understand like
It's-
how it is that if the TAC funds has to be used for the promotion of Seaside, and if we're considering that effort as a way of promoting Seaside, getting people to stay rather than getting people to drive right through. Does that money need to come through this portion of the city in order for us to use it for that?
Yeah, because remember, Mark used to put all the money in our account and
Right.
transfer it out, that's the way it is anymore. So I think a more likely scenario is that, and hopeful scenario is that we work together with the council on their vision for that sort of thing. And eventually, when it comes to steps or action needed, and the committee has a vision for like, hey, we want this in that part, or something, signage and wayfinding, that we would request budget for that. But we can just work together on the bigger picture of like, how does the park form with citizens and public input and everything? Like, we're just part of the seat of that table.
Yeah.
We don't really control the money.
Yeah, part of the solution. And the other thing to consider is even if we were able to just, let's say, remove 2 of the dilapidated houses. It's quite possible if we were able to put infrastructure in, the other 2 or 3 that are there could get cleaned up by private residents. And, if there's a little park there and a nice sidewalk, then that would be more valuable property and hopefully that would get cleaned up. So if we could just take care of a couple of them, I think we could solve the whole issue, but it's gonna take a collaborative effort of probably the parks, tourism, and the South Seaside Urban Renewal, but just something to consider.
I mean, right now, there is a piece of land that is for sale.
Exactly.
Yeah, right now.
In flood zone.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't know
yeah,
how we can sell that, but
Yeah, there's a lot of issues.
well, it won't, it won't allow for structures, right? You can
Okay.
pull an RV in it, but. I mean, but, if those pieces come up,
So another question, how much is that is ODOT? Because those things are pretty close to the highway and they might be, those probably are building ODOT's right
I
away.
think there is.
So then you have to have ODOT
Yeah.
signing off on this, so.
It's a complicated deal.
on green space.
Their
ODOT,
right of way, I think, goes into some of those properties. That's a really.
but I mean, like ODOT would need to sign off on green space.
I'm not
They
100%
didn't probably need to sign off on anything they did there.
Yeah.
If it's changed, it's all grandfathered in, but if you change it, I
Yeah,
think ODOT's gonna have some input.
Does anyone recall if the city brought in all those properties? Cause 7 years.
still be in the county.
7 years ago or something, a bunch of those properties weren't even in the city limits, but I know they worked on bringing a bunch of them in.
We moved
They all
them into
come
the city, yeah, so we brought all that into the city.
all the way to Avenue U.
On the west side of the.
Yeah.
On the shacks.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I think the problem with one of them in the corner, I'm not 100% certain if this is still the case, but one of them is very far back on like water bill and stuff like that, and so it has this huge lien on it.
Mhm.
And so there's a lot of, that's why they're not getting bought up, most likely is there's a lot of issues that need to be dealt with. Very complicated.
how do you see this committee moving forward to help with that effort?
I would just say if it was one of your ideas that you wanted to, some kind of tourism use there, then that would be a start to have other groups start working on it as well.
How would we put forward that idea though? Like, what's the forum for it? Cause I don't think it's the budget motions request. It's literally acquiring property and
Yeah.
do a park, it's definitely a few steps up that
Yeah.
would help with.
I don't know, I know that Spencer feels that improving parks are within our legal use of tax dollars. So as long as it's a tourism use as well.
Another thing to keep in mind is we also, even more looming, have the estuary property. There's a bunch of improvements that could be done there as well.
But that's not a hindrance for people driving through town and
No,
wanting to stop.
no, I agree. But.
Yeah, if we could, it's welcoming to our city. I don't know how exactly you fit that into a tourism promotion, but you guys can put your heads together and
Are
figure
you
it out.
talking about the north end of town, that park out there?
So,
I'm talking about the property.
Yeah, sure.
By the old school
So, yeah. it's a good
parking lot with the view over the estuary.
yeah.
Okay.
well,
Okay, that one.
But I think it's a great idea. Just want to throw that out there.
Good to know.
Just wanna find out how to. There's gotta be a way to do everything, just gotta find it.
Or
Why are you laughing?
Well, because I'm being recorded, I can't say what I wanted to say.
You can
Tell you later.
You can text me later.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna
Oh, yeah. No.
Just to take it nice and fat.
Wanna finish this up?
Yes. Public comment?
Yes, you asked about the south sign by the relief pitcher. The relief pitcher owns their property. Where the sign is belongs to the city and below that is private property. So the area that's this big belongs to the city and that's it. And across the way belongs to the state
There you go.
That's it.
on that.
That's where our arch goes.
Hey, well, the 85 acres is for sale right there. That's right. We need a driving range.
I know.
Investor. Oh, hey,
I gave that up.
investing.
Just cool.
Any committee comment?
The only comment I would like to make is, my wife and I stayed at the River Inn because we had a free, or a thing we wanted, event at the convention center. And first off, town was absolutely packed this weekend. It was long. It felt like a summer weekend. But the other thing I noticed is it seems like about half the people staying at the River Inn had dogs. So any of the marketing that you're doing related to dog friendly is
Like
definitely.
this one here?
Yeah, every time I was in the elevator, anywhere, it's just dogs,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So
Yeah, it's
It's
definitely become a dog.
Yeah.
Really use a dog park.
Yeah. We really use a dog park.
For those kind of dog, yeah, now a real dog.
Okay. Any other committee? comments? No.
Okay.